Hi, I'm Erica. Today I want to be talking about animal cafes. They've been growing in popularity around the world and they're also very popular in Japan, so I want to be focused on that. Obviously, cat cafes have always been very popular, but there's been a surge in other types of animal cafes, like there's a goat cafe, there's a penguin cafe. There's been a huge surge in owl cafes all around Japan. There's a bunny cafe, and I'm probably missing a lot of other types of animals. I want to state that my goal, first of all, is not to condemn or criticize people who are interested in them, plan to go, or who have been. My goal is to inform people and to hopefully allow them to make better choices in future. I want to first start off talking about owl cafes. There's been a huge increase in the number of owl cafes popping up all over Japan, and they have proved so popular that it's been near impossible to even get in without a reservation. And unlike dogs and cats, they have not been selectively bred and therefore have not been domesticated. Just because they are not showing outward signs of stress does not mean they are not stressed. It's an extremely unnatural environment for the owls to have to be in, to have to stay up all day and to be handled by humans for hours on end in a brightly lit room. What motivated me hugely to do this video was that I came across an interview on the Animal Rights Center website, which I'll link below, done to an ex-owl cafe worker who ended up being a whistleblower. They worked at an owl cafe for 1 year, and they claimed that during their time there, 7 owls during the span of 1 year died. Their treatment was horrible. So first of all, their leash was on them for pretty much 24 hours. Even while the place was shut, they were given little time to fly around. So it's exactly the opposite of nature and handled by people up to 10 hours a day during the opening hours. But even after, so that's a huge amount of stress, as you can imagine. Even after the shop shuts, they are still tied down by the leash. What I found hugely disgusting, personally, was that they purposely fed them little to no water because that would produce waste and that would be impractical. To me, that sounds like animal abuse. Water deprivation, because that makes them pee, that produces waste. Nature. Even when they were showing signs of thirst, they deprived them of water. And then even when they died, they wrote on their website that they'd been fostered. So they'd do a job of covering up and blatantly lie. The owner would show off to the customers. He'd be a collector of exotic owls. Oh, we take the eggs from the nests, things like that. Even though they were not cared for at all, they weren't provided veterinary care. It's not only owls which have been gaining huge popularity. Hedgehog cafes have been seeing a huge surge in popularity all over Japan, and I've been seeing it being picked up in media all over the world, actually. And yeah, they look adorable, but this is another thing. So when the hedgehog curls up into a ball, it looks really cute, I know. But the thing is, that is actually its defense position, and that is it showing a sign of stress. So when it's curled up in a ball, I know it looks adorable, but that's its response to stress. So the hedgehog is also a nocturnal animal. It's also been subjected to unnatural time zones, and it's not been domesticated. You could argue I've seen some arguments that it might get used to being handled, yes, but again, it's not been selectively bred for decades and decades. That's a sign of stress culling into a ball. There's actually nothing cute about hedgehog cafes. Finally, what about cat cafes? Yes, cats are domesticated. The thing is, I adore cats. They're my favorite. I love, 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 love cats. I went to a cat cafe once, and it actually freaked me out a lot, because when I went, all the cats were really floppy, and just they were either sleeping or really floppy. So it was kind of unnatural. And then you had people who were clearly not used to cats at all, because you had people poking them. You know, cats don't like to be poked. You know, poke a cat like this, it's going to scratch the shit out of you. But these cats were completely unresponsive. So everything felt a bit off, and it kind of made me think, are these cats all sedated? So it made me think I would never ever go again. And then very recently I had some friends from England visit, and I didn't mention anything, but when we had a bit of a catch up, and they said, oh my god, we just went to a cat cafe, and I was like, oh, how was it? And they're like, oh, it was freaky, we felt like it was sedated. So I was like, I fucking knew it, you know? Ultimately, these are businesses. These are businesses, and if they're businesses, they are putting profit over animal welfare. But there is a solution. If you're visiting Japan, you can go to animal shelters where you can play with cats and dogs, instead of going to these institutions where someone is making a fat profit at the expense of animal welfare. Please, please do that instead. Obviously, they don't have the means to spend a lot of money on advertising, so I had to do a little digging, but they are out there. I'll link all of those that I could find below. So please, please do that instead, you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys very soon.